If you couldn't tell by the title, this video is brought to you by HIDIVE. HIDIVE is a legal anime streaming service just like Funimation or Crunchyroll, except it's cheaper and arguably has a better interface. They have a library full of subbed and dubbed anime, even including the more risque home video cuts. Of course, they offer a 30-day free trial, which I have linked down below. Now, onto 5 anime you haven't watched on HIDIVE. Right after you try and guess what waifu this is. Number 1. Ungo. This anime takes place in a war-torn version of Japan just after multiple terrorist attacks have swept across the nation. The fighting has ceased, but tensions still run high as the attacks have left behind numerous scars, which has opened the door to many different types of criminals. Shinjiro Yuki, also known as the Defeated Detective, specializes in murder mystery cases. This anime follows Yuki as he goes around solving multiple murder cases alongside his young and odd male partner who may or may not have a connection with this sexy yet mysterious woman. Overall, Ungo is a decent anime. The mysteries it puts forth are interesting enough, and it is fun to see how Yuki is able to decipher each case. An issue I have, however, is that the anime doesn't give you enough details to solve the case yourself, and this left me feeling like a mere onlooker, unable to fully immerse myself in the mysteries. That being said, I still found Ungo interesting enough that I always wanted to watch the next episode, and that was primarily due to Inga and the mysterious woman who has the power to force anyone to answer a single question. To sum it up, Ungo really is a fun anime, just don't expect to feel like a detective while watching it. Number 2. Unlimited Psychic Squad. Kyosuke Hyobu is an unbelievably strong human known as an Esper. Espers range in variety, but each of them wields some sort of superhuman ability. Of course, not all Espers use their power for good, and depending on who you ask, some might say that Kyosuke uses his power for evil. Kyosuke is the head of a criminal organization known as Pandra, whose goal it is to save any and all Espers who are being mistreated by humans. Though his intentions and motivations are pure, his methods can be sometimes questionable. This anime begins with Andy Hinomiya, an Esper soldier working for the USEI, successfully infiltrating the criminal group known as Pandra. He enters into the group thinking of them as nothing more than criminals, but he quickly realizes there is much more to Pandra than meets the eye. Personally, I really enjoyed the many different types of powers that are present in this anime, as it kept the action scenes fresh and entertaining. Overall, I think this anime is actually pretty good, and you will probably like it if you enjoy badass main characters. You should know that Unlimited Psychic Squad is actually a side story from the original Psychic Squad series, but don't worry, you do not need to watch the original to understand or enjoy this anime. Number 3. Humanity Has Declined. Humanity is currently on a direct path to extinction due to people just not having enough children. Though the lack of humans in this day and age has allowed another sentient species known as fairies to thrive. Fairies are basically 5-inch tall gnomes that seek out sweets and entertainment with absolutely no regard for how their actions are going to affect others. Watashi is a human girl who has recently returned to her hometown in order to be a mediator between the remaining humans and the fairies. This story follows Watashi as she finds herself in the middle of many different and unique situations due to her job as a mediator. There is no other way to describe this anime other than to just say it's unique. Humanity Has Declined has an episodic format, meaning there isn't much of an overall plot or objective. Then the characters themselves are alright, and the quirky situations are decently entertaining. But the real draw of this anime is the immersive world that it puts forth. The world feels very odd and mysterious, but at the same time it makes sense. Each episode slowly uncovers more and more about this unique world, and this is exactly what will keep you coming back for more. Honestly, I'm struggling to find the right words to properly describe Humanity Has Declined. Just know that it looks absolutely amazing, and after the first 2 episodes, you will know exactly what I'm trying to say. Number 4. Hidamaris Sketch. Yuno is a young artist, and as such, she has chosen to attend Yamabuki Arts High School. This high school is pretty far away from her home, so she has little to no choice but to move into the Hidamari apartments, which are located right next to the school. It doesn't take long for Yuno to befriend her neighbors, who all just so happen to be fellow students at her high school. Hidamaris Sketch follows this group of girls as they do their best to live out their normal lives while attending art school. If you somehow didn't notice, Hidamaris Sketch is just a slice-of-life comedy anime, and from what I saw, it really is a simple, fun, and cute anime. I do have to say, I did enjoy this anime for what it is. Each character has their own unique personality, and it's entertaining enough to see how they interact with one another. Then I wasn't exactly laughing out loud, but some of the jokes really were funny, such as how their teacher is a cosplay fanatic. Now, I tend to avoid slice-of-life anime, as it's just not my thing, but this one did manage to catch my eye for a very simple reason. Hidamaris Sketch has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 completed seasons with 12 episodes apiece. Plus, there's even extra episodes on top of that. If slice of life is your thing, then you are most likely going to enjoy this anime. And even if it's not, I still recommend trying out the first episode, because if you manage to like it, it's going to keep you busy for a while. Number 5. Aura, Koga Marion's Last War. Ichiro is more or less your typical student who just wants to leave behind his embarrassing past and live a normal high school life. His completely boring life was actually going according to plan, until he forgets one of his textbooks at school and goes back to retrieve it. To his dismay, he encounters a strange girl dressed in cosplay named Ryuko walking through the school. Ichiro tries his best to distance himself from Ryuko, as he doesn't want anyone finding out that he used to act the same way back in middle school. But Ichiro's homeroom teacher has other plans for him. Ichiro's teacher straight up blackmails him into looking after Ryuko. And as you can imagine, he is less than thrilled about this situation. But he does begin to warm up to her as he recalls what it was like getting bullied throughout middle school. Many of you are probably thinking to yourself, man, this anime sounds an awful lot like Love Chunibayu and Other Delusions. And yeah, you'd be correct. However, don't expect these two anime to feel the same. Love Chunibayu puts a huge focus on comedy, which helps to keep a lighthearted tone for the majority of the story. On the other hand, Aura focuses on more serious aspects such as bullying, which creates a slightly darker feel to the story. Just think of this anime movie as a slower, slightly darker, and more mature version of Love Chunibayu. So, were you able to guess what waifu this is? It's Luis from The Familiar of Zero. All of the anime on this list can be found on HIDIVE, so be sure to redeem that 30-day free trial if you want to watch one of these anime. Then if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe for the next one, and if you want your name on screen here, then go visit my Patreon. Thanks for watching everyone, and I hope to see you next time.